Happy Monday. My hair is a little crazy. Feeling that summer flow as I feel air conditioning underneath my desk. Okay. All right. So I am Lauren. I am the owner of Acumama Health, and I do these videos every couple weeks on different subjects that we could do AcuOils on. I actually have my computer up next to me, so you might see me going back and forth because I wrote some really good notes, and I'm going to start working towards an ebook of sorts on the few videos that I have done lately. So you have a little bit more information to gather when we're talking, because this is like a brief overview, and then we get into the nitty-gritty in the ebook, and I might do a few more videos on Podia that kind of explain the inner chemistry, the inner workings of why we use certain points for certain oils, so we can understand that from a deeper level, but not getting into a Facebook Live with that, because I feel like that is a lot of information, and anyone who came to my classes last year was like, mind blown, I'm going to need some time to process that. So anyways, that's a little bit about what's going on here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I know lots of things have changed in the past couple weeks, right? And you might be a little stressed out, and we might have some interrupted sleep patterns, which is kind of why we're talking about sleep today. I feel like with COVID and all of the changes, it was really important to talk about sleep, because we all deal with sleep issues at one time or another. I feel like as parents, I'm a parent obviously, but as parents we deal with that a lot as well, not only within our kids, but ourselves and as moms, because we worry about our kids while they're sleeping, that something might happen, or in my house, someone might get a random bloody nose, and I get to find it later. So, a little insight into my life there. Anyway, shall we get started? And always comment if you have questions, comment if you have a comment. If you don't like this, peace, blessings, see you later. I don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here. You know what I mean? So, moving on. The first oil we'll talk about is cedarwood. As I said, I'm going to be looking back and forth because I have some really good notes this time. So, cedarwood, I have the doTERRA one today. As I've said, ad nauseum, I am not concerned with the brand of oils that you use, the company of oils that you use. I just want to make sure you're using them to their fullest extent that helps you. Because we buy them for a reason, right? So, that's what these classes are for, to kind of give you a little more information on what you can use them for and where on the body. So, cedarwood. Cedarwood is a good one because it's a grounding oil. It is from the cedarwood tree, and tree oils are very grounding. As such, they can help ground you to help you sleep and to help you stay asleep. But in doing my research, especially when we're talking about stress and stress levels and how they impact your sleep, cedarwood's the oil of community, so it helps you be seen whenever you feel like not being seen. And what I mean by that is, if you're having trouble connecting with others, cedarwood can help create those bonds and friendships. It helps open the heart to receive love rather than blocking it off. And when we go to sleep, remember, we are going from conscious to subconscious, if I can talk today. We're going from subconscious to dreamland, where we work with the subconscious to kind of process through the emotions that we've been through in the previous day, weeks, months, or years. So a lot of times people will get to sleep, but they'll wake back up because they are still processing through stuff, or they haven't hit that specific REM cycle, which I am not getting into in this video because that is complicated, and this is an overview. So, anyways, cedarwood. If you have troubles with relationships, or a lot of times relationship issues come up in the middle of the night, that nighttime darkness overlay, right? And whenever we're talking about that, we get the feelings of being alone, lonely, especially if we recently been through a relationship where we did cohabitate and now we don't anymore. We don't have someone sleeping next to us, and we never really fully comprehend how much that affects our sleep patterns until they're not there anymore. So if you're dealing with relationship issues or trying to create that connection, cedarwood can be really good for that. And like I said, it is grounding tree oil, so it's going to help you fall asleep and help you stay asleep, because it'll help you work through that. And we'll go through points at the end of this. So, cedarwood. I'm sorry, I am scattered once again today. I haven't even opened my energy beverage of choice for today, but yeah, it's kind of heavy with the mugginess outside. If you live in Colorado, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, fun times. Anyways, next one, lavender. I feel like lavender is always the go-to because it's the calm oil, it's a sleep oil, it helps calm things down. We recognize the scent right away. If you talk about essential oils in general, lavender comes up. This one is Eden's Garden. Like I said, I am not a specific. My 3 specifics are doTERRA, Young Living, and Eden's Garden, just because I trust their sourcing and what they do. I like how it changes the light. Squirrel. Anyways, lavender is always the go-to for calming things down, and it is calming in the way it works because it is from the flower as opposed to a tree, and therefore it's very aromatic. It hits our olfactory first, and it is actually the oil of communication and calm. So we think of calming, we always think of lavender. Whenever we think of relaxing and going to sleep, we think of lavender. Lavender doesn't work for everyone, and that's okay. That's why there's many options, right? But when we think of lavender, we think of calming. So even if you think of the lavender flower, or even how lavender smells right now, or you open up your lavender and give it a little sniff, you know that smell. Whether you want to admit it or not is up to you. But this is the go-to oil for feelings of being calm and centered, and by its nature can be soothing if we have been withholding expression, if we have not been feeling like we could be our full selves, or if we've been putting on this mask of, if we've been putting on this mask of how we feel others should perceive us rather than who we truly are, that's going to come up in our subconscious, inevitably. With that being said, if I get rid of this, this opens up the potential to experience unconditional love, acceptance, and peace of mind. And since it's extracted from the flower, like I said, it's easily used to calm emotions and create a restful space for us to calm and center for sleep. As it is the oil of communication, it helps you communicate from your heart and therefore open the heart center. And I know I'm going over a lot of heart stuff. I feel like that's, if you've been in my moon gatherings or read my blog, you know that I've been focusing a lot on the heart chakra and heart center. And a big piece of that is because that's a lot of what we're working with. I could get into the astrological energetics of that, but I will leave that to the experts. As it stands, lavender is a really good tool to have in your toolbox when it comes to sleep, because you will inadvertently, olfactorily, if that's a word, associate that in your brain with calming down, restful sleep. So it's a good one to use. Vetiver. We talked about vetiver last week. A couple weeks ago. Okay. And I never know if you can see it in here, but it's a really viscous oil. You probably can't, but if you have it, you know what I'm talking about. It's it's from the root of the vetiver plant. So it's very viscous, it's very resinous, it's very thick. And it smells that way too. So it is the oil of centering and descent. So whenever you're feeling anxious or overthinking or before bed, you can't shut your mind off, vetiver is a really good one to use to just bring that energy down so you can finally get that calm and restful sleep. I think it's really important to also note that a lot of people get night terrors or wake up with nightmares from vetiver if they have a really active mind or they're processing something. My belief is because vetiver also helps you root us, but also uncover the roots of deeper emotional issues. Remember, we're talking about conscious, subconscious. So whenever you go into that subconscious space, whenever you're trying to sleep, I truly believe that whenever you're having vivid dreams of that nature, especially when it comes to vetiver, it's uncovering those emotions that you don't really want to deal with, and therefore you're going to work through them subconsciously. So that's why that stuff comes up. Either way, I still think vetiver is a really good one to use for sleep because it is that descending energy, which we all need, especially right now when we're overthinking what's going to happen next and the question marks of what's going on in our world right now. And this is going to help you kind of center yourself down into that. So, time, the oil of releasing and forgiving. A lot of people like to use this for snoring on the big toe. And we will go over a point on the big toe called spleen 1 whenever I get to points in just a moment. But it is a hot oil used with caution because it is a hot oil. If you don't know what that means and you have time, try it out. You're welcome. I'm not putting this in my mouth today. We're not doing that today. And that's not the point because this is for sleep. So whenever you put it on a place like the foot or the toe, it's going to help open the airways because it's all connected. It helps release some of that phlegm that can be associated with blocking the breathing for snoring, but it's also going to help you release and forgive. It is one of the most powerful cleansers of the body, and it helps open up the airways so you can help with that cleansing aspect, but also get that cleansing breath whenever we're trying to sleep. So, and cleanse the body spiritually. Let's see. Time teaches that it is time to let go and move forward by opening the heart and being able to receive love and forgive others, which I think comes up a lot at night, that darkness time, that time when we're by ourselves alone, laying in bed, trying to sleep, and we have those random thoughts pop up. This can help with that, to even forgive yourself so you can move forward with confidence, be able to get some restful sleep, to sleep on it. So, and the last one, and one of my favorites, and one of my household's favorites, Ben usually asks for it regularly, is juniper berry. This is the actual oil of night, and most of these today are doTERRA. Young Living has them as well. Eden's Garden has them as well. Those are my top 3. I know there are a lot of other companies out there. Whatever you resonate with, do it up. So, the oil of night encourages you to overcome the fear of the dark or unknown aspects of yourself. This one's really good for night terrors in children, as well as bedwetting, because they're scared to get up to go, or what have you. I really like it. It has a really good smell. But it helps to releases the fear and brings balance to things like day and night, yin and yang, because it works with that kidney energy. So a lot of times I will put this on kidney points to kind of help regenerate that balance from the kidney aspect, but also the fear aspect, because it helps you process through that fear, whatever fear you may have, right? So, yeah. All right. So, points. I had fun with points with this one because I reviewed a lot of my old notes and it was a lot of fun because, and we'll just talk about kidney 1 for a second. And we talked about that last time. It's the one on the bottom of the foot, at the balls of the feet. I'm showing you on my hand, but it's on the foot. And it calms the spirit, descends excess from the head, agitation, insomnia, poor memory, propensity to fear, that fear base, that feeling ungrounded, that feeling unsettled. Kidney 1's a really good point to help ground that energy. So whenever we're talking about descending energy with vetiver or grounding yourself with cedarwood, those are 2 really good oils to use on kidney 1, for example, because it will help you descend and ground that energy so you can get restful sleep and fall asleep and hopefully stay asleep. All right. What is the one? Amion is right behind the ear. It's the actual extra point, but sleep point. It helps calm the spirit and pacify the liver. Liver deals with a lot of agitation, irritation, stagnation, things of that nature, things that are not moving forward and it's making us crazy or angry. Yeah. It also helps with restlessness, which can be attributed to the liver just overacting, as well as the heart and spleen from a TCM perspective. So if you are overactive in your mind, a really good point is on behind the ear. Spleen 1 is the one right on the toe, and that one helps calm the spirit. It's really good for nightmares and night terrors. It helps with excessive dreaming in general. So that one I would actually use lavender or juniper berry on spleen 1. If you look up spleen 1 in images in Google, it should show you. If you need it specifically, feel free to message me. I can send you a screenshot of the Deadman text, which is the acupuncture text we use whenever we're in school. Yin Tong, I know ad nauseum I always use Yin Tong, but it's such a good point right here. Obviously I have a big divot because I have a lot of stress. It is what it is. But this is that third eye chakra point that kind of just helps calm down the body overall. So I think that's a really good point that you could use any of these oils on, specifically cedarwood, thyme, juniper berry, even vetiver, just to descend that energy and help balance out the body so you can get restful sleep. It's like your power button for your mind. You're just like boop. And kind of turn off those thoughts so you can get some restful sleep and process through your subconscious. So when you wake up in the morning, you have your answer. It works, people. Don't knock it till you try it. All right. Stomach 45, which is also on the foot, clears heat from the stomach channel, which can be related to the liver or whenever we're feeling hot or our digestion's a little It can calm the spirit, excessive dreaming, if you are easily frightened with desire to sleep, talking about that loneliness or fear of what may or may not be there outside, things of that nature. Stomach 45 is a really good point to use. And since we're talking about fear, I would definitely go with juniper berry or even cedarwood to help ground when it talks about stomach 45. Heart 7 I put on here as well because it helps calm and regulate the spirit, and it's that heart point to help the heart process through the emotions that we may be feeling. What was the one I was going to talk about? I must have left it off of here, or it didn't save because my computer is awesome lately. But yeah, any questions, please post them in the comments. That's about all I have for today. Yeah. So I hope you guys are having a good week or continue to have a good week because it's getting kind of crazy out there. And it's summertime, so take that for what you will. But if you have any questions, if you would like to read up more on this, I will have this handout shortly. I can email to you, or the ebook will be up in a few weeks on the Podia site. So if you want to find me on social media, I'm obviously here in the group AcuOils training. My business page is Acumama Health. I am Acumama Health Reiki on Instagram, and Acumama Health is the page on YouTube that these videos go on. If you're watching the replay, thank you for your support. If you want to support continually, you can always become a subscriber on my YouTube channel, and otherwise, we'll see you in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to go back and forth so I have like the specifics like sleep and beat the heat. And then we're also going to go into the spiritual aspects. So we're probably going to talk more about motivation and things of that nature in the next couple weeks. So we'll see you then. Mwah! Happy Monday.